Hey lads, John here from R.A.D Detailing. We specialise in paint corrections, high-end ceramic coatings and paint protection film. This video series we're going to show you how to properly look after your car after it's been coated, or if you're just somebody who's kind of into detailing and wants to look after their car and have it looking a bit better. We're going to walk through a full run through on how to look after your wheels, your tyres, full exterior, how to wash it safely without scratching it. We're also going to show you how to dry the car. Stay tuned and keep an eye on the videos. One thing lads, anytime when you're using chemicals, especially on wheels, if you're using a wheel cleaner like this urn, it's got a fallout remover built into it and it stinks. You don't want that stuff on your hands. So anytime you're using any sort of chemicals, put on some PPE, always wear gloves. First and foremost lads, we're going to clean the wheels first. Wheels are always the dirtiest part of the car. So for this we use a wheel bucket, very simple piece of kit. It's got a grit guard inside in the bottom of it. That's going to catch and trap all the dirt to the bottom of the bucket. Some wheel brushes, you've a Monster Mini here for the barrels, a larger Monster brush, some wheel woolies, they're all for the barrels and the arches, and in this little dolly here then, a couple of various little detailing brushes for the faces of the wheels, a wheel wash mitt, and very important tool is a stiff brush for scrubbing the tyres. Very simple stuff, can be bought very cheaply and it'll last for years. So first and foremost, we're going to put everything into the bucket. We're going to use some Enzo Pure Shampoo, Enzo 1 it's called. A couple of corkfuls of this into the bucket. Throw in one for good measure. We're going to fill that with water. In terms of chemicals, we're going to be using Enzo product today, so we're going to use a wheel cleaner. It's our wheel cleaner. Now this is a bleeding wheel cleaner, so it actually bleeds purple when it comes in contact with metal. And this is a revolve tyre cleaner. This is for scrubbing the actual tyre of the car. One thing to look out for lads with bleeding wheel cleaners like this, if you've got a high-end car, something like a Porsche GT3, even an Audi RS3 with carbon ceramic brakes, you don't want to use any chemicals on carbon ceramic brakes. They can get into the porous parts of the brakes and cause damage and cause brake failure, so that is something to look out for. First things first, so lads, with cleaning wheels, environment is the most important thing. So parking your car in the right place. You want it nice and cool. You want the wheels and brakes to be cold and dry, and you want to be out of direct sunlight. So with starting on a wheel like this is my own car, so it's fairly clean. But if you had like a heavy build up of brake dust and stuff like that, you're always best to spray on your wheel cleaner when the wheel is dry and cool. So we're going to start off with a Sun wheel cleaner. We're going to spray it onto the wheel. This is a gel type wheel cleaner, so it kind of clings and stays rather than running off the wheel. We can leave that on there for 3, 4, 5 minutes without any hassle. Leave the chemical do the work. While that's on, we're going to get our tyre cleaner. We're going to spray that. We'll spray some into the arch as well. It's not going to do it any harm. While the wheel cleaner is doing its job, we're going to use a stiff tyre brush to go in and scrub the tyre. You want to make sure that your tyre is nice and clean, especially if you're going to apply a tyre dressing afterwards. So we're going to start at 12 o'clock, work our way to 6 o'clock. We get a wheel woolly then, and we can do the arch. Right, so guys, when cleaning your wheels, we always start with the faces. Being mindful, the only thing to be mindful of cleaning wheels is if you have gloss black wheels. Particularly if gloss black faces on them, they scratch very easily. You don't want that. So we're always going to start with the face, soft detail brush, starting at 12 o'clock, working our way to 6 o'clock. The reason we start with the faces is that if we're to clean the barrels first, especially on a gloss black wheel, then you're going to pull the dirt from the barrel onto the face of the wheel and potentially mar the finish. You don't want to do that. So we always leave the barrels till last. Little detail brushes like this are brilliant for getting in and cleaning your brake caliper. You can see the wheel cleaner starting to turn purple because it's coming into contact with the brake dust. It's breaking it down. Last bit then, Monster barrel brush, 12 o'clock. And last but not least, in around the wheel nuts. Little wheel woolly, perfect for in there. That's exactly why you always point this away from the car before you actually go washing, because sometimes if that's not in right and you have it pointed at the car, it'll fly off and hit the car and then you're in trouble. We're good to go now. Again, you want to rinse the wheel, guys, be thorough, rinse the arch, rinse the rim, make sure all that brake cleaner or that wheel cleaner and tyre cleaner is removed. One other tip, if you've gotten your car PPF'd by us or by somebody else in the past, this is a time to be careful with the power washer. If this wing or bumper or skirt had PPF on it, you don't want to go too close with the power washer, as that could cause a lifting edge in the PPF. After your wheels are all cleaned, you want to work on to the bodywork of the car next. So again, the car is dry. The car has not been rinsed. The reason for that is, and the car is in out of the sun as well, you want to give the pre-wash the best chance of doing its job. So when you start rinsing your car first and then applying pre-wash or some sort of a pre-clean onto the car, you're actually diluting the PIR, which is the panel impact ratio, which is going to dilute the product down, and it's not going to do its job as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a 1000 ml foam cannon. I'm going to fill it up with 800 mils of water. I'm going to add 100 mils of Enzo Polaris, which is their snow foam, into the foam cannon. And also, because we had a sandstorm during the week and the car is fairly dirty, I'm going to add in 100 mils of Enzo Prime Use Pre-Wash Degreaser. So this is just going to give the snow foam that extra bit of bite to lift off that heavy road film that's on the car. So I've got everything in the foam cannon. I'm going to give it a good shake, mix up the chemicals, and we're going to foam the car top to bottom. So lads, if your car is particularly dirty or if you're going prepping it for polishing or anything like that, now is the time to go in with a soft detail brush and scrub all the edges. Now this isn't recommended for doing every week, but only if you're prepping for polishing or the car is particularly dirty. But you can just go around all the edges and work the snow foam and the degreaser into all the nooks and crannies. And clean everything down. Again, just be mindful to work out of direct sunlight. Leave the snow foam on the car for 4 or 5 minutes. Leave it do its thing, and then we're going to rinse it off and go in with a contact wash then. Once the snow foam has had a chance to dwell, lads, you want to come in and rinse the car. With the pre-wash, I always recommend rinsing bottom to top. If you rinse top to bottom, you're actually working backwards. So if you rinse bottom to top, then the product that's left above it will then cover the area you've just rinsed and further clean it. So you're getting the most out of your product, you know. Right lads, next we're going to go on to the contact wash. So the only time you're going to scratch your car when you're washing it is when you're touching it with the wash mitt or when you're drying it with a towel. It's the only time you're going to scratch it. The best way to wash a car is using the 2-bucket method, right? It's a safe wash system. It's very simple. 2 buckets. One, this is the rinse bucket. It just holds water. And this is the wash bucket. This is where your shampoo goes. And in the water bucket, we also have a wash board. This is for actually cleaning off the mitt between panels. So 2 buckets, 2 grit guards in the bottom of both. Obviously keep them distinguishable, rinse and wash. And most importantly, and this is something that goes overlooked, is your wash mitts. They have to be kept clean all the time. So like we only use wash mitts 3 or 4 times and we throw them away. That's just the way we operate, but you can machine wash them. I find the best way, the system we use is the colour. So the red and the orange mitts are for the top sections of the car. So we only use those down as far as the bottom 6 inches. The blue or a black mitt sometimes when we have it is just for the bottom section. So your side skirts, your lower parts of the bumpers, in around the wheel arches and stuff like that. When you have different colours in the wash mitts, you don't get cross contamination then. So you're not using this mitt on top of the car and you're not using this mitt on the bottom of the car. Very simple system and it keeps scratches off your car basically. So put the mitts into the buckets, fill the rinse bucket up with water. That's the rinse bucket guys, just watering that. Obviously making sure that you pull out the grit guards and clean them out. These have been done already. Shampoo bucket then. Some Enzo 1 shampoo into the bucket. Fill it up about less than halfway, and then we're going to actually spritz it up then with the pressure washer just to get some good foam in it. You can use a shampoo in the snow foam lens and shampoo the car. Some people like to do that. Me personally, I think if you have a couple of corkfuls of it in your bucket, it's more than enough. Plus, when you're washing your car, once the pre-wash stage is done, you can do that stage as many times as you like. You can pre-wash the car 10 times, it doesn't make a difference. But you want the car to be 95% clean before you go touching it. So I always look at the car. If it still has a bit of road grime on it, I would go in and pre-wash it again. Right lads, so we're going to start. It's very simple, right? You need to have a bit of fun when you're doing this and actually look forward to washing your car. So first mitt out of the water, into the shampoo, onto the bonnet. Look, I'm just letting the mitt do the work. Straight lines, no circles, and not putting any pressure. The car is 95% clean already. Flip the mitt, use the other side of it. Straight lines again, no pressure, up and over the roof. Once that's done, back into your rinse bucket, clean it off. We're going back into your fresh shampoo and then back onto the car again. Once you get used to doing it, you can do it with your eyes closed. And just be careful, look, when I'm using this mitt, I'm not going below there. That's what the blue mitt is for. Again, no pressure, just letting the shampoo and the mitt do the work. And lastly lads, the blue mitt then for the lower sections of the car. So I'm going to get down here and flick your hand in under the bottom, clean all those edges. As you can see, the car's a little bit dirtier down there, so that's why we just saved this mitt for doing that. Again, I'm not scrubbing, I'm just letting the mitt do the work. And lastly then lads, we're going to, once the car has been fully washed, we're going to rinse the car top to bottom. Once I've that done then, I'll just talk over how to actually dry the car properly and maybe add a little bit of protection as well to make it easier to clean in the future. Always as well guys, when you're rinsing the car, I have my two hands on the power washer, one on the head of it, the other on the hose. When you're getting up close and stuff like that, it's nice to be able to hold this so that this does not touch the car. I'm trying to be professionals here. Emphasis on the word trying. Lastly lads, if you want to add a bit of protection or add a bit of water behaviour, if the water behaviour is particularly flat, we can use some Aquila. This is Enzo's wet application sealant. Smells absolutely beautiful as well. We're going to give the car a few spritz of this while the car is still wet. You can spray it on the wheels, the glass, the body. As you can see, I only used probably not even 100 ml onto the whole car. And then once it's sprayed, we're not going to go directly in and rinse it off. What we're going to do is we're going to flame it. So we're going to stand back with the power washer. We're going to use the power washer to spread the product around the car. So we're going to stand back and I'm actually spreading the product. Beautiful, isn't it? And as you can see straight away, instant water behaviour. If you've got some sort of ceramic coating on your car, or if you've got some sort of decent protection, even a good wax, good trick for finishing the rinsing process. Once the car is rinsed, pull the tip of the power washer off and then use the weight of the water to dry the car. The water will sheet off an awful lot better. Just like that. Right lads, last process is drying. A nice, fresh, clean, high GSM drying towel, okay? So, very simple. We're going to just give the towel a couple of spritz of quick detailer, right? Enzo quick detailer. This is going to lubricate the towel when we're drying the car, so it's not going to scratch it. And we're literally just going to leave the towel do the work. We're going to pat it dry. If you don't need to rub, you don't have to. Now, if you have a vehicle dryer, a blower, then you can use it first. Or you can use it in conjunction with the towel. You know, you can actually use the blower and blow the water into the towel. There's lots of different ways, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to presume that nobody has that equipment. Also as well, with tyre dressings lads, you want to leave your tyre dressing on for 10 or 15 minutes at least before you drive off in the car. It's just to stop any sling. Tyre dressing, like, it can be quite messy sometimes, you know, so less is more, but definitely always leave it on the car for 10 or 15 minutes before you go driving it. And the smell of this stuff is savage. Lastly then lads, for the final touch, if there is any bit of, you know, water spotting or anything like that, drips of water that haven't been gotten off by the drying process, we're just going to use some simple quick detailer by Enzo onto a nice fresh clean cloth, and we're going to go around the car. You can use 1 or 2 cloths for this. I prefer 2, but this is such a good quick detailer, it doesn't leave any streaks really. So I'll wipe it on with one side of the cloth and then flip the cloth over then for the last wipe and just buff it off. And you know you've got a good clean car when you're wiping quick detailer onto it and the cloth is staying yellow. If the cloth was showing dirt here, you want to go in and rewash the car again, you've missed a few spots. So I always like to use light coloured cloths for this job. The quick detailer is going to add some lubrication to the cloth. It's also, there's gloss enhancers in it, and it's also going to keep the car a lot cleaner, keep the dust off of it. It just adds that finishing touch, you know. Right lads, so all the products that we've used today are all Enzo products, and everything is available through us in the shop and online, in both 500ml and 5 litres. So you have your Aquila wet application sealant, prime use degreaser, Animate insect remover. We didn't use that today, but we will show you, shoot a video on how to use that next week. Isern wheel cleaner, Polaris snow foam, one pure shampoo. Gleam quick detailer is another quick detailer that we didn't use today, but we will be using that during the week to show you. Very similar to the one we used today. All these products smell absolutely fantastic, and they're super safe to use on your car, and they're highly recommended by us. Lads, that's it for this video. Thanks for tuning in. Next week we're going to shoot something a little bit different. We're going to show you how to take care of your car, wash it correctly, safely, at a pay-as-you-go car wash. A lot of people mightn't have access to the equipment, that some of the equipment that we use today, so we're actually going to show you how to get, you know, professional results while using a pay-as-you-go car wash at minimal cost. So stay tuned for that one.